And then it's gonna go live with us doing that.
I'm glad I didn't go live doing that. That would be funny. All right. We have some. We already have a bunch of people on watching us through Twitch. Nice. Hello, everybody. Welcome to probably my last stream on Sundays for now. We're going into part 4 of Gallery of Souls with Doc as George, Armistice as Ray,
That's me.
Baziel, not Basil, playing Elizabeth, and yeah, I'm getting all my angles right. No, you're here. Yeah. Oh, back down there. There he is. And Phzoul, we're having fun tonight. And Phzoul playing Fred. I'd like to welcome all of you here tonight, and thank you for joining me in this story of horror for the system by Helmgast, a Swedish RPG company, for KULT Divinity Lost. Before we get going, there's be a few announcements, but I'd like to give my players a chance to remind everyone who they are playing, and some key moments maybe, or memories that have come up that have been your favorite parts of your character. If you can. If you don't want to, that's completely fine. But I'd just like to, squeeze the lemon or whatever it's called to get some of that out. Maybe I shouldn't have said.
All right.
Yeah. I'm just happy tonight, folks. We'll start with poor old George here.
Hi, everybody out there. I am Doc. You can find me on various Discords under the username Dr. Bones 412. I've written some Call of Cthulhu scenarios on Drive Thru RPG. Feel free to check those out. My latest Lights in the Trees is something that Ryan may come back to in his announcements about Illusion HorrorCon. I'm running that on Saturday, so very excited for that. And George is a tortured soul, both physically and emotionally, after the last few episodes of this game. Key moment for me that stood out for him was when a sort of under the table veterinarian was brought in to stitch some people up and caught a bullet to the face, only for that to hit George. Somehow completely, like, we're thinking with portals here. That was a beautiful moment that it's like, I shoot him in the face. Okay, George, you feel a pain in your gut. What? So that was a good moment for me. I enjoyed that one. It's been mulling in my mind ever since it happened.
You are welcome, and glad to have you back. And
Glad to be back.
Chris, tell the fine folks out in the world about yourself and a little thing about Elizabeth.
Hey, good evening, everybody. Yeah, my name is Chris, or Baziel, or Baz, whatever. All three of those count. Yeah, I am really excited to be back for the 4th episode of this. I've been playing Elizabeth Bennet, or Elizabeth, who is basically your classic femme fatale in the 1950s, of which has been sort of an indentured slave to a mob boss at a casino for many years. She's gotten quite good at manipulating men. She knows how to manipulate men left and right. She's hot, gorgeous, all those things involved, and she's manages to keep herself calm at the most craziest moments. Um, for her, the most recent thing that really stuck out to me was the harrowing car. She basically got behind the wheel of the car trying to get as the getaway car, and was going through wheels or streets and turning from left and right and just going nuts. It was the most harrowing thing she'd ever went through. By the time she was done, she was, oh God. And so yeah, that was a cool thing. So looking forward to tonight. Yeah.
Awesome stuff. And in no other particular order, I'd like to welcome back Phzoul, Dave, playing Fred.
Brian. Yes. Phzoul, Dave, I'm playing Fred. He's a wise guy, but he's not feeling overly wise at the moment. Things are unraveling, and his most precious thing in the world, his daughter Joan, is in danger. So he's going to do whatever he can to see to it that she is safe. Favorite moments. I don't know. kicking George in the gut, slapping the phone out of George's hand, shooting George. Oh, sorry. Okay. Anyway, I'll
Picking on
hand it over
George.
to.
do to you?
Nice.
That's awesome. Great. And last but not least, the Mr. Ray. I want to say Ray Osborne, but I don't know why. That's
Yeah.
But
Hey-
sorry. Welcome back, Armistice, Jerry. Yeah.
Yeah. So I play Ray. He's the resident mob enforcer, leg breaker type guy. I like to say he has a heart of, brass or some kind of brass tin alloy. Not quite gold, but not quite black as coal either. He is losing it a little bit. He's seen things that man was not meant to see, and not too happy about that. He has some highlights though. I mean, he saved George from the from the water. He had a nice heart to heart with George as well in the bathroom. That was some good RP there. It was fun. And he might need to do some more of that again to get some stability back. He is very driven to not drag his poor sainted long-suffering mother, who's in danger, any further into this hellscape than she already has been, because he's definitely living a life where he feels like he deserves whatever he gets, but not, he never really expected to endanger the one person he cares about though. So he's very guilt-ridden for that. And yeah, looking forward to seeing what happens.
Awesome. We'll get into a few minute recap here soon. But just a few announcements. We are just about 1 week away from the third annual Illusion Horror Con. We have about close to 60 games on the schedule. Few GMs here.
Whoa.
Myself, Doc, and Phzoul. Baziel, I think you're in a few games.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's awesome. All those player forums are closed. A lot of results have been tabulated. And yeah, the results are out there. If you're watching this and you haven't checked Discord at all, I recommend going in, logging in, and see if you've been pinged for any games. Other than that, will be a few days going through just making sure that every table's full and everyone's happy. And within a week, all the fun will start. And we have, I think it's 8 to 9 panels on various aspects in horror as well. So those will be there. We're going to have guests from all walks of life in the whole in the horror genre. We have creative directors, we have authors, and we have podcasters, people from actual play streams. Yeah, it's going to be a fun time, and hope to see you there. And I think that is it. Oh, there's going to be a special stream of pretty much the go-to cult starter adventure. It's pretty much been known as Oakwood Heights. I will be streaming that in Slot 5 Anger, and I am very happy to welcome XP Lovecat, Travis Legg from Onyx Path Publishing, and TA Newman from the Misotonic Playhouse. They will be joining me to run through that awesome scenario. So if you weren't able to get a game in Slot 5, come watch that. So without further ado, let's get into this part 4 of Gallery of Souls. We left our characters last session. They were up against this mysterious figure out in a pier, out in a upscale park in the hills of Los Angeles. It was they thought it was this artist they've been tasked to find by the name of Christian Starker. I'll never get that name right, but that's what it's pronounced to be tonight. And it looks like, yeah, this definitely wasn't him because they've got into. It was a bad for a few of our folks here. George got impaled by a gladius. Fred almost drowned. Ray's suit got boiled. But I know, right? Favorite suit's gone, man. But thankfully, Elizabeth has been here, composed and solid the whole time. It was a good move to go get that car to get away. Otherwise, evil GM here had something in the background, but you're able to kind of get out of that mess. So yeah, I think it was death by ballpoint pen at the end. But this figure mysteriously disappeared, and all that was left was a trench coat and this short sword that they just had. There was a lot of them in bad shape, so they had to go find somewhere to get bandaged up. And whether it was through the heightened emotions, the anxiety, or just the need to be somewhere safe, Elizabeth doesn't know how she did it, but she found this place. It was Los Angeles, and it was not at the same time, but they found somebody. They don't know who it was. But a moment of respite in the darkness. And for our characters here, they've had a moment of coming back from the darkness just for a moment. But then, some wounds were healed. Suits still wrecked, unfortunately. Sorry, Ray. And Ray had, through this trench coat that was left over, threw it over to George. They had already missed their meeting with Christian Starker. They're supposed to meet him at 9 p.m. in the park. Ended up being 10:14. So they were just trying to get their plan together of what they wanted to do. But Ray took the trench coat, threw it over, and there was this black sand basalt kind of material, and that opened up the memory box. Was it a memory, or was it something that was to come? Hard to say. But what ended up was we ended up with, and I'm just going to switch screens here for a sec. Ray had some nightmare fuel to go by, and this thing was part of it, unfortunately. And that's where we kind of ended last stream.
Mankind was not meant to know
About stuff like this. And Ray, just to kind of bring you up to speed on kind of what that, just a reminder of kind of what that vision was. You remember that this thing was in this, it almost looked like an open studio. There was a lot of portraits, paintings up on the wall, displaying various public figures, maybe. Some were normal, some were hideous. But the main thing, it almost looked like a party, actually, or a celebration. But then the lights went out. This thing came up from wherever it came from and just started enveloping and devouring everyone around. It was chaotic. And that's where we stopped last session. And that's where we start today. What do you do?
What? Yeah, so Ray's just like, what the hell was that? Did you guys see that? George, did you see that?
See what? All I got is this dirt. What are we talking about? I'll throw a little bit at him.
I don't.
Well, Fred will draw his gun and start looking. He's a bit jumpy. He'll start looking around. Where? What do you see?
I just when I touched that dirt, I seen some kind of creature. I don't know. It wasn't here. I was somewhere else, seeing something else.
You got to pull yourself together, man. You're losing it.
We're all seeing weird stuff. I don't know. It feels like it means something to me. I don't know. Maybe you're right. Just let me think
We
for
were
a
just
second.
singing Humpty Dumpty 10 minutes ago.
You don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, you weren't singing Humpty Dumpty?
It's a nursery rhyme. You don't sing a nursery rhyme. You recite it.
Ray, I swear to God, once we get out of this, I'm going to slap the shit out of you. Oh,
Yeah, you're not.
All right,
You're
well-
not going to be slapping anybody with a cough like that, man.
Listen, we need to get in contact with Stalker.
We need to call that number.
All right, so
who's calling?
Is there a
look around.
phone booth? Or something
I'll look
nearby?
at it, and the eyes will land on Liza. I'm like, you're the smooth talker, babe.
Right, Fred. All right, well, do any of you geniuses know where there's a phone? Is there one around?
Must be. Can we find a payphone?
Oh yeah, definitely. It'll just take a few minutes of driving around.
Has the neighborhood changed back?
Yeah,
Okay, all right,
Yeah.
it's normal now. All right.
yeah, and it's and just kind of bring you back. It's January 1951. It's a little bit cool in the desert. It's nighttime. There's a kind of a light rain falling, and it's there's a few people out walking the roads. Everyone's in long coats, black fedoras, reminiscent of
All
the
right,
time.
gentlemen.
Well.
So I imagine we pull up to one of the phone booths, and Liz gets out. She's like, lights up a cigarette. All right, I have the number here. Who are we calling this Mr. Stalker? Who are
Yeah,
we
this is
calling?
the emergency number he gave Pickett in case something went wrong, and something has definitely gone wrong.
Let's just find out where he is,
I should say so.
and we'll go pick him up. Don't tell him you're here to pick him up. Just call him and find out where he is. Tell him there was an emergency with Mr. Pickett.
Cool your shorts there, Georgie. I'll take care of it. Hold on. And she goes
Cool your
over and
shorts. You're not the one who got shot.
So she gets over to the phone. Is the time period? Yeah, I guess it's still rotary. It's rotary. I'm assuming at this time. So she's like,
The phone rings probably about 5 times, and then it just hits that kind of busy signal. After a few moments, then it kind of gets rerouted back to the operator. Hello, operator.
Operator. Yes, hi. I'm trying to get a hold of this number for, and then she reads off the number.
What's the number, honey?
Here's it is. It's 555-555555.
Let me check that for you. You hear a bunch of
Oh, you're a dear.
Yeah, you hear the seat get up. There's a if anyone out there knows what a Rolodex is, you kind of hear that that noise, and
Yep.
it takes her. You're standing there. It's cold out. You kind of gingerly look back towards the car. The other three are just kind of sitting there
It's a
looking at
booth.
you.
She's closing the door. She's like, close the door because there's a breeze.
Well, Fred will probably be out pacing back and forth near the booth,
Yeah,
watching over her type thing.
yeah.
Ray's rummaging through the truck looking for a T-shirt.
Liz pulls her head out the door as Fred's going back. Stop that! Just stop it. Go over there.
All right. What's taking so long?
Shh. Hello.
Hi. Yeah. Sorry about that. Took a sec. I don't think you're going to be getting. I don't think you're going to be reaching this place it's a business number there, honey.
A business
What's the
number.
address?
Oh. So it's a business number.
Yeah, it looks like
Oh.
it's listed as looks like it's a museum, an art museum or something. It's located in the neighborhood of Sherman Oaks at 1278 Fifth Avenue.
So she's like holding her hand out the phone booth, like snapping her fingers. Fred, something right with your. So
Yeah, Fred probably care. Oh, actually, I'll check my care. I don't know if he carries a pen. I'll
Well-
check my sheet here.
Well,
I don't think he.
George did have a pen.
George
Oh,
had
okay.
a pen.
oh,
It's a little
George.
wet.
he did have one, or is it still buried in the? All
I'll
right,
grab
so
George pen. Yeah, no.
all right, so well, she's like, "Ah, fine," and so she'll write down the information. Okay, that was 1278. What was the name of the street again? I'm sorry.
It was I think it was Fifth Avenue.
Fifth Avenue. And the name of the business again? Sorry.
There's no name listed. It looks like it's an art studio
An art studio.
out in Sherman Oaks.
Sherman Oaks.
Are you sure you weren't trying to reach someone personally? Like what are one of the numbers wrong, or?
I don't believe so. This was a number that I was given by someone else at the time, but I do appreciate your help. We'll
No
take a
problem,
look.
honey. No problem. And call us
Thank you very
anytime.
much.
We
Thank you,
like to
Doc.
help here at the operator.
You have a good night. Click.
Click.
All right, gentlemen, we've got to go to 1278 Fifth Street. It's supposed to be some sort of art studio. I don't even know what this
All
is.
right.
That's where, like, Ray's just kind of like, that's where the monster was.
What monster?
What monster?
The monster was in the
I-
park.
You've
I
been
told
there
you I had a-
before? You've
Listen,
been to this
I had
place
a-
before?
Have you
I
been
saw-
drinking?
This is what I saw. I saw there was art, there was paintings, and there was this monster that was just ripping through everybody.
You mean to tell me there's another one of these fuckers nearby?
Oh, this is way worse. It's like
Oh,
it's
Are you
just
saying-
heads and arms and limbs.
Liza,
you
give me
saying
my
you can
pen
see
back.
the
I'm gonna need it.
You saying you can see the future now or something?
I don't know. We're seeing all kinds of crazy things.
Look, Fred,
Like-
I'm gonna be real with you. I saw some shit during the war, especially
Right.
when there's a lot of death. Something was around. So if Ray says he saw something, Ray saw something. Okay,
All right.
we got to make
all
sure
right.
we go there. You got your gun. I want you to
Well,
shoot
no.
as soon as you can.
Can I make so I have a streetwise skill, Ryan?
Yes, sir.
So I used it to get to have a contact with a doctor, and I'm a little black, and on my character sheet, I'm a little black book with all my contacts in it.
Yep.
I think we need a Tommy gun with a 50-round drum. So can I make a roll to see if I know a contact where I can get some hardware?
Well, that's the thing. I think you rolled last session, and you did get 15 or above. I do remember. Oh wait, that's for edges. Yeah, sure. Give me a roll, man.
Okay. That's a plus plus charisma. Not my strongest skill, but
You'll be good at everything, Fred.
not too gee, nice. That's a nice roll. 17.
17. Okay. Yeah. No. It might take. The only problem is you can get it, but it's going to take time. About 3 hours.
So I can make a call and the guy's like, it'll be 3 hours. So I have 125 USD equal to 1,200 in modern currency.
You want to speed it up some?
I'll be like, is there a way I can? Is there any way that you can get this sooner? This is life or death.
Yeah, they can do it about an hour. If you
Okay.
pony up the cash.
Okay.
How much time do we actually have left with this? I mean,
Yeah, it's already 10:15. How far is it? How far of a drive is it to the art studio?
Fifth Street.
Yeah, it's about half hour drive in the other direction. Like when I say an
Yeah,
hour,
you're
it's an
right.
hour. It's an hour total to go there and back. But then to get to the place, that's the extra time. It's up to
Liz
you.
goes over to
Okay.
Ray and drops the keys into his hand. And it's your turn. And she goes over to the other side and gets to the passenger seat. He's like, "No, I've had enough for tonight. Thank you."
Now
I
she's
think
a
my
passenger
my
princess.
car's had enough, Liz. Just looks meaningfully at the ripped off side view mirrors and
Yeah.
busted headlights.
Yeah.
Little-
Ray's
a little spiffing up will fix, right? You boys know how to use all that wax and stuff. Wax on, wax off.
Well, what do you all think? I'll probably look towards Ray. I mean, do we need more hardware, or do you think what we got's enough?
Tommy gun is a good idea. I've got my combat shotgun. That's some pretty
All right.
heavy duty firepower. But man, this thing, we're gonna need to go in. Yeah, the more firepower, the better. Do we even know if this guy's even gonna be there?
Well,
We don't.
what,
But
what,
that's what the note. It's the only path we got.
so have we talked to Manny? Should we not talk to Manny and ask him, tell him that we tried to meet this guy and it turned out, tell him what happened and because what if we go to this place and all it is some crazy creature that we have to kill? Well, you gentlemen are going to be killing. I
Yeah,
will
we
look
kill
on.
it. Yeah, we
Well,
kill it.
yeah,
wanna
but what's
kill
that going
Pickett
to
and tell
do?
him-
How is that going to help our child,
Ah,
Fred?
How is that going to help
I don't
us,
know, but if
Liza?
we go back to
Yeah.
Pickett empty-handed, then we're all dead.
Okay.
Look, Liza, can I tell you something here? And Ray,
course,
you know this, you've seen this, and Liza, you know this. There's something fucking up with Pickett, okay? He sees shit.
Yeah, you're not wrong, Joe. I agree with you, but the problem is we I feel like we're just going around in the dark here, and we don't know really what we need to do, where we're going, and it's been chaos.
If you were
Since we
Pickett, would
got
you
here.
tell us everything?
I have no idea.
If
Just-
you were the person holding all the cards, would you tell your pawns exactly the shit they were about to get into? The fact that Ray saw something, that's to our advantage. We can
Okay.
load up, we can go in. I mean, we got, and I'll hold up the Gladius from the back seat. We got this from who knows fucking where. And we got bullet wounds shooting dudes in the face and shooting me. Look, I don't give a shit about me anymore, okay? If I got to go to this house and kill this thing to save what's left of my family, so be it. You want to call Pickett and tell him, "Hey, everything's fucked. We failed. By the way, let us try again." Go right ahead, but you and I both know he's not going to take that.
Garbage to Pickett. We don't mean nothing to him. We're expendable.
Right.
We're
All
dirt
right,
on a
Fred.
shoe.
I leave it in your hands. I will. That's fine. Let's go. We need. Let's. Are you certain that this Tommy gun is going to be enough? Why do they call it Tommy? Why do they call it Fred or something like that? I don't understand.
What do I look like? A historian?
I don't get it. All right, so well, all right, well, sorry, it's your boys' toys. All right, so fine. Is that going to be enough, Ray? Do you think it'll be enough for this
Well,
thing, whatever it is you saw?
better than what we got.
It's better than little pew pew pistols. Hey,
Well,
look,
that would be
George,
what I
like, had
have.
his
She
pistol
pulls
in
out her
her-
little.
more
His
more
holster.
firepower. Listen, more firepower, the better. All right.
Probably I'm going to turn to Ray and I'll point towards the Gladius and I'll say, "You think this is maybe something special? You know, like stakes to vampires or whatever? Like, do you think this thing might be? I don't know.
You may have a
Might
Worth a
point,
possess the
shot.
power to
Fred.
kill it."
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Some old Roman
you-
sword. I don't think so.
You have your moments, Fred, and they're not always often, but I think this might be one of them. So she goes over and looks over to the Gladius and is like, she was intently looking at the Gladius to see if she notices anything particular, So
Yeah, give me. Good question. Give me not a particular move, but you can. Well, if you want to roll the investigate move, you're more than welcome.
okay, that would probably be the best. Investigate, which
2d10 plus reason.
reason. Thank you for reminding me because I was trying to remember myself. All right, so
And as you're rolling that, Fred, you said you had taken the Gladius, kind of put it up in front of Ray and kind of going all around. You're talking about this thing, about using it and stuff like that, but you look at it for just a split second. You're like, it's your ticket out, Fred. Why are you trying to use it? You got to try to keep it, preserve it, because it's money, baby.
So that's a
Yeah,
12 on the
maybe.
investigation. So go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
All
No,
right.
I was just saying I got a 12 on the investigation. So
Yeah, so this kind of acts like observe a situation. There's some questions you can, like, depending on your success level, you get either 2 questions or 1 question. So in this case, you're in the middle ground. So with the investigate move, some of the kind of sample questions are, how can I find out more about what I'm investigating? What is my gut feeling about this item? Or is there anything weird about it, or kind of any other kind of investigative thing that Elizabeth might be thinking of, or just kind of where your brain's at?
well, she's thinking, how can this be of help for us given the circumstances we're running into now? How could this be of help to us, if at all?
Yeah, well, like George had kind of brung up earlier, you and him have seen, in reference to just a quote from Ray earlier, the egg is cracked a little bit. Your egg was cracked a little bit before that. In
Okay.
reference to what you and George know or have seen of what Mr. Pickett, what lies beneath that, whatever's underneath that skin of his, whatever, it's not human. But
S-
this
Okay.
this sword, even though how random it seems or appears, you think it does or will play some sort of something in your future. It's important. You don't know how. You don't know how it's going to be used, but like it's not like you sense a power or anything. It's just it's important.
Yeah, I sense that it's definitely part of the future with whatever it is we need to do. Okay. Fred, I've never seen anything like this before except in, I don't know, some
You
ridiculous
think it's worth
museum, but
money? Think it's worth a lot?
maybe, but I think it's worth more to us moving forward. I think we should keep that. If it was
Yeah,
on that
I think we should keep
creature.
it too. I think
Yeah.
we should
Well,
keep it
no,
too.
I
Good.
mean, no. I think we may have to use it for something, either killing that creature or maybe to. It's keep it nearby. It's not about the money, Fred. Okay, just keep the money part out of it. All right. This is all about helping us achieve our goals. Okay. Get your head out of the clouds for once, Fred. All right, come on, please.
Let's
Red.
make another a big after Liza saying that. Can I make another greedy roll to see if I can break my?
Yeah, well that's the thing, right? She mentioned, you know what, Fred?
Yeah.
Let's keep it. And you're just like, ooh.
Yeah, that
It,
hit
Well,
the money
yeah.
yeah.
bone.
The money
I'm trying to
bones.
keep my. I want to keep my greed in track. Oh, so this is where my stability applies to this
Yeah.
roll.
So you have a -1.
Disadvantage. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
So since we're all rolling
Uh,
disadvantages, shall I roll mine as well, just because it's the start of the session?
I'd say we're lay off that for this session
Okay.
because
Okay. You don't
Not-
want George to die.
no. It's there was this nice pristine moment at the end of last session where you were kind of I don't want to say made whole, but made semi whole. So you're feeling pretty good right now.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah, no problem.
Well, they made 2 holes, and then you were made whole.
Oh, jeez.
Oh,
You're saying is George is holy?
Yeah, he is holy.
But not full of grace, unfortunately.
Yeah.
All right.
Fred actually didn't hear what Liza said. He's thinking about what he's going to do with all the money he's going to make off this Gladius.
shit.
So I assume that was
Well,
9.
he won't boast. He won't voice that. He'll just kind of tuck that away.
Yeah. So I assume that was 9 or below.
That's right.
Do I know this twinkle in his eye? Do I know this the money twinkle?
Yeah. Well, Fred, in this case, like maybe your eyes should have went past the gladius, and they should have looked Elizabeth in the eye, but unfortunately, it did see the gladius. So, do you take?
All right. Well,
like you either have to take full advantage of this opportunity right now, or take a -2 stability.
whoa, I never read that. Oh, shoot. Oh, okay. I see what you mean.
Yeah.
Oh, correct.
So you try to take advantage of
Well,
the situation right now, or take out?
I have possession of the gladius. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll just say. Well, I'll just say. Well, George has already agreed that it's mine, so it's mine. I'll say, and I'll shove it in my. I'll kind of put it in my I'm going to keep it close. I'm going to keep possession of it. So I don't know if that's taking advantage of it or not. But actually, to take full advantage of it, I'll think maybe when I meet the guy to get the Tommy gun, maybe I can sell it to him.
Shit.
Okay.
Well,
But I'm
she's
keeping that in my mind. Yeah.
Liz sees
But
you
as you're
fiddling
saying
around with the gladius, and she's gonna tell you. She literally takes it out and like slides it into your belt like it's a hilt, into your like a sword hilt into your belt. Just keep it there, and don't you even think about
Don't you worry about things. Let's get the Tommy gun. Let's go kill Ray's boogeyman, and then we're gonna go and we're gonna get Joan, and I'm gonna kill Pickett.
Fred, you do all
Right.
that. Like I said, that gladius is yours if you get us out of this shit.
All right.
And I know it's like the twinkle in his eyes. So I put a hand on his shoulder and say, "It's only yours if you get us out of this."
I'll be
You're not
thinking,
wrong,
yeah,
Fred.
and how you gonna stop me? You have dead.
Shit.
You got one foot in the grave anyway. That's what he'll be thinking, but he won't.
This is
He
not
won't say
helping,
it out
Fred.
loud.
This is not helping.
All right, let's go get this Tommy gun. Let's get to your art museum.
All right, we'll do a little bit of a sidebar for that. So we'll keep this high level. How do you approach this? Like I said, you rolled really well on that advantage of yours. Tommy guns, no problem.
Okay.
Do the others come with you? Do they stay in the car?
Well, I would imagine it's just like the dock. The car pulls up. There's
Yep.
a meet. I don't know if we're meeting another car. Like, is it two cars
Yeah.
just meeting in the rain?
Yep.
I get out, walk over to meet the guy, hand him the cash, take the violin case or whatever it is, whatever the Tommy gun is in.
Yep.
And
Do you do
and I don't
anything?
know how.
Do you do anything extra?
Well, I have to. I don't want to, but as a player, I don't want to. But while I'm there, I will basically pull the gladius out and say, "What do you make of this? You think this is worth something?
What the hell is
Maybe
this
to a
piece?
collector?"
What the hell is this hunk of metal?
Now, what do you know? Get out of here, you bum! And I'll push him away and take the Tommy gun and the gladius. Well, that's insulting. This is my gladius. Jeez, insulting like that. You don't know nothing. This is art. I'll say. Thanks, Ryan. You just saved the gladius.
No problem there. That's awesome.
And I'll head back. What the guy didn't know nothing. I'll get more for it in Vegas. Yeah, Vegas.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I'll get back to the car. And you know what? So George, you're a veteran, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, I look at Fred, and Fred's like a card shark dealer. When he gets in the car, he'll hand the Tommy gun over to George. You know how to use this?
Does the Pope shit in the woods?
You
me
know,
that thing.
I'll think about that for a second. I'm like,
I
I have no idea.
As Fred is thinking, I'm just gonna take the time. Fucking idiot.
I like thinking that during that whole tense transaction for the Tommy gun in the back alleyway, Ray's standing by the trunk of the car trying to look dangerous in this like brand new, like I love Los Angeles, like T-shirt that he got at a 7-Eleven,
Hilarious.
you know, with like a picture of like the Hollywood sign or something, and you know, just like absolutely tacky tourist T-shirt that he just picked up to like cover himself.
Yeah, nice shoes, nice dress pants, belt. And
Yeah.
then all of a sudden, it's just like, what happened?
I
From the
heart
waist up.
LA.
Yeah, I heart LA. He has a trench coat though. Put the trench coat on over top of that, like button it up all the way so that it's not like.
Oh, that's great. All right, so yeah, you have that. It's probably about 11:30. It's 11:30 at night now. The rain has kind of picked up intensity. It's just smashing on the car now. Like, you know, when it comes down and jumps back up, and the wipers have to go really fast, and it's just it's pouring. Then the glow of the street lights as Ray, you're driving in the car back the way you came, and yeah. Fred, you're like, my gladius, my precious, or whatever you're doing. And yeah, what's everyone doing?
I'm gonna drive around the block a few times and sort of case the art museum.
Good idea.
Okay, sure. Give me an observer situation there, Ray.
Sure.
2d10 plus perception.
Okay. Let's see if my dice rolling is going to be any better today. Actually, I wasn't too bad last time.
As long as you don't take a gun, fire someone in the face, and kill George, it's a good day.
You got it in for George, but you still want to admit it.
What is my perception? It's probably 0.
Your perception is
Nope,
plus 2.
Plus 2. So that just puts me to 15.
Nice. So, like I've said in previous sessions, in KULT Divinity Lost, especially with observer situation, it's more environmental as opposed to specific. Some of the you get 2 questions because you've got let's say a complete success, and some of these examples are, what is my best way through this? What currently poses the biggest threat? What can I use to my advantage? What should I be on the lookout for? What is being hidden from me? What seems strange about this? And like any other kind of like perception-based questions that you may have, like you don't have to stay to the list, but yeah.
Okay. So what is unusual? What's sticking out as unusual about the situation?
You drive around the block a few times, Ray. Like I said, the rain's coming down pretty hard. This is a part of the neighborhood where it's mostly businesses. So normally, there'd be no cars parked, right? Everyone would be home. The place would be pretty quiet. You go around a few times. There's a car parked. Doesn't have any license plates. It's about a block away. It's pointed towards where the studio is, but you can't see in it. There's no plates. This doesn't look right to Ray.
No plates.
It's in the perfect spot to watch the spot.
To watch. Is there anybody in the car?
All the windows are dark. But other than that, the streets are empty besides your car driving around a few times.
Is there a way in? Like, is there a back way in that
Yes.
we can get in? And like, can I do a roll to see if there's like an alarm, like a silent alarm or anything like that?
So based on the perception-based roll, you can definitely, and since you succeeded, so the second response for that would be yes, there is a back way in, and you can position your car or park in a particular area where, if you think that this car on the street was watching the place, you could get in not seen.
Okay. Cool. Then let's do that, and I'll be looking for security systems and all that kind of stuff for sure. Don't need the cops arresting us.
Yep, no problem. You take the car, you drive around. You don't need to drive around a third time. You don't want to make yourself look suspicious if this car is watching the place. But you turn the bend one more time, find a place to park out of view, and the rain is coming down, and you four are out of sight, out of view. What do you want to do?
Nice. Try and find a back way in. I'll bring my combat shotgun and my ammo and my trench coat, hidden under my trench coat, and go in there looking like.
Should I stay behind the wheel and keep the car ready, revved?
Decisions.
I was gonna say, we might.
All I
We
have
might
is this
need-
little pea shooter. I'm not as I don't know. I can drive better, but whatever you want me to do, I'll do it. But
Might not be.
Just
It
tell
might
me,
not be
Fred,
a
what do you
bad
want?
idea. It might not be a bad idea to have a look out, Fred.
All right. Just all right. Just watch yourself.
Fred,
I
just
don't like the
give me
idea of splitting up, but
well, then Fred, I want you to give me your pistol, and you have the Tommy gun. Let me have the regular pistol. All I have is a small one here.
George
small
has the
caliber.
Tommy gun.
I
Oh,
gave the
George,
Tommy
yeah.
gun.
Tommy gun.
I gave the Tommy gun to
Okay.
George.
Oh, okay.
I'll give Liza my pistol, the old
Okay.
trusty 6-shooter.
Yeah, that's better
And
than what she's got. So yeah.
as I press it into her hand, I'm just gonna calmly say, "Don't underestimate your pea shooter. That last thing in the park, I stabbed it with a damn ballpoint pen. These things aren't human, Liza. You know this. Stop thinking like this, and think with this." And I'll hand her the gun.
Elizabeth, as George, as you two are in the car, probably sitting in the back seat. Fred, you're in the front this time. Ray driving. You guys have parked. George's hand is very soft. He almost looks been impaled. He's been shot. He's looking pretty good. Roll your disadvantage, please.
Oh, for Liz. Okay.
George is looking a little hot right now.
Well, it's not George that's my disadvantage. It's I'm the one who's the other way around. I'm kind of like, yeah, I get unwanted attention. Let's put it that way. Are you sure that? Well, you tell me.
Yeah, roll her up, man.
Okay. Oh dear God! All right, here we go. Oh, that's a 10, and that is a 5, so 15.
Okay, like you said, you're the influencer. George, you're looking into Elizabeth's eyes. There might have been a spark, just a little one, but she looks away, and you just hear the rain pounding on the top of the car, and you just come back to it, and you just think about shot, just like your chest hurts a little bit, and you get into a coughing fit. But for just that split moment, Elizabeth looked really nice. But Fred, you see him in the front. He looks back at you. You saw something, Fred, but it was only for a minute.
All right. So,
So what are
I'm
the
ready.
odds? So we've been drinking. There's a bottle. There's a bottle of. Is there any bottles of? Do we actually have any bottles of booze?
Yep, I've got a case of bourbon
That's
in the
about-
back.
A bourbon.
Lots of bottles.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
lots of bottles.
So kind of thinking about what Eliza said about, is this enough? I'll just be looking to, I'll be standing there looking at this place, and I go, well, if things go to hell, we could burn it down. That liquor you got in the trunk, well, that'll
Yeah.
burn.
I've got.
Make yourselves a couple of Molotovs.
All right, Liz. I didn't like the look of that car with no plates parked out front. So you keep an eye out for them, okay?
Right.
Okay. If anything out here doesn't look good, just honk. Just lay into the horn. We'll hear it.
You got it. Be careful, boys.
So whether this, I don't know what this will do, Ryan, but we have that trench coat from that thing, correct?
You do.
Mm.
To make Molotovs, you need some cloth. So I'll take the Gladius and cut up pieces of the trench coat, take a couple of those bottles, stuff it in,
Okay.
get it nice and coated with the liquor. Got my lighter, my special lighter here. And oh no, I don't have a lighter. I have a matchstick box with the Sahara Casino logo on it. So I got my matches. So we'll take 2 Molotov cocktails inside with us.
Okay.
And whether or not that trench coat, whether that's something special, I don't know. But whether there's some kind of psychic.
Well, you're taking it. You're ripping it up.
I have a can of gasoline in the back too. I just.
Oh, you do? Oh,
my
geez.
equipment.
All right.
Yeah. So don't. Yeah. Ray's like, hey, that's the good stuff. That's the good stuff. Don't waste the bourbon. We got gasoline.
Okay.
It light's just as good, and you can't
Well,
drink.
we don't go. But do we have empty bottles? All right. Each of us has to chug a bottle of bourbon.
Yeah. So when you rip up the trench coat, your hands are kind of, they're just chock full of that kind of black sandish material again.
Kind of wipe it off. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So what do you guys do? Liz,
we're going in through the back door.
Liz, you're watching.
Yeah. Well, she dropped. Well, I guess she's parked a little bit away so she doesn't alarm. So it's not much sound. And I guess you guys approach the back door from maybe about, I don't know, 100 feet away or something like that, 200 feet. I'm assuming.
Yeah, and for you folks, I posted in the chat there in Discord. I posted what you're kind of walking into, and for everyone who's watching on stream, it should be up on there now, which it is. Okay, so you're coming in through the back. You're coming up from the south of this image, and Fred, you have to be a little bit careful because you don't want the material that you made the Molotov cocktails out of to get all wet and drenched because the rain is just coming down. Yeah. So you're careful with that, and this is it's not a congested or buildings aren't on top of each other, so there's some spaces between all these different businesses, and this to be an art studio. So there's actually a nice nice landscaping around this place. There's there's a few palm trees. There's a nice lawn. It's on a good 1/2 to 3/4 acre property. There's a kind of half waist height. I don't want to say fence or barrier, but it's more decorative than nothing, and it surrounds pretty much the property. Besides, the side entrance to the sidewalk to the side entrance and to the front, and you guys are coming in the one in the back. Okay. Liz, you're staying in the car, watching out. Fred, you're coming in. George and Ray, sorry if I didn't hear what you were doing, but I just wanted to paint the picture and just kind of make sure everyone knew what was going on.
Keeping Fred company with backup. I'll have the violin case at the ready. if possible, like having the gun in a point that if I need to pop it open, I could grab the gun quickly.
Is it still raining? Is it still raining pretty hard?
Yeah.
Or it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Then Liz would probably get a little bit closer, try to keep the lights blaring onto the back. At least allowing, I shouldn't say blaring, just giving them some type of a light so they can actually see where they're going.
Okay.
At least slightly.
Okay. Seeing how the environment it's aiding you in a way. You said you were just trying to position yourself to kind of give them more light.
Yeah.
I want to ask you to give me an act under pressure, please, because yeah, you will get a plus. You'll get a +1 on this roll just due to the heavy rain coming down and the sequestered area you were able to park in the beginning.
Okay.
Just let me know how you do.
Center coolness. All right, so that's giving me a +2 to this total.
Okay.
That's 6. Oh, so that's 18.
Right, man. All right. Yeah, no, Elizabeth, you're able to position the car in the way. Everyone else, you get some extra light on the back of this place, and yeah, the car, Liz, you have to kind of, you're inside the car. You kind of have to cock your head all the way over to pretty much pushing up against the driver's side window. Yeah, that car, it's still, there might not even be anybody in it. Hasn't moved, hasn't changed anything. So
yeah, she also grabs the revolver that George handed her, and she's like, clicks it open, makes sure it's the rounds are all in there, spins it a little bit, and clacks it back up, and lays it down, cocks it, keeps it laid on the seat, so she has it ready to roll just in case.
Yeah, sounds good. All right, so the three of you, like I said, you're pretty much under the cover of darkness. So you come up to the back, and Ray, I think you're up there first. You said you were kind of looking for security systems and things like that. You do find one, but there doesn't seem to be. You go up. It doesn't seem to be like doesn't seem to have any power or anything like that. And the place itself, the windows seem to the few windows that are in the back there. You try to look in, just to get a scope in on the place. Curtains cover the windows, and you don't see any discernible light from inside.
I've got my shotgun under my trench coat, and I'm gonna see if I can. I'm just gonna try the door, see if the door's locked.
You go up to the door, and it's actually ajar, about a couple inches, and yeah, so you know that the alarm definitely isn't set, or isn't on, or you're probably even thinking like you guys have been around here a few times, definitely more than 10-20 minutes. If the alarm was set off, the cops would have showed up by now. But Ray, you know you're safe.
I don't like this. This stinks. This whole thing stinks.
Stank from the beginning, Ray.
Looks like the door was kicked open.
Good job.
Looks like the door was kicked open. The place where the latch goes into, it's busted.
I'm opening the violin case, getting that Tommy gun right out.
Okay.
It's a violin. No, just kidding.
Oh, son of a bitch!
The GM got his back.
Fred,
Got me
you
back.
bastard!
All right.
I'll play Vivaldi at them then.
I've got. I'm just gonna. Like, is the power? I'm just curious whether the power's off. Like, I'm just gonna try a light switch in the back. Just flick it real quick and see if
Nothing.
any light happens. Nothing. So there's no power. We have flashlights. My character sheet says I have flashlights in the trunk of my car, so everyone has a flashlight.
Yep.
So we've got those, so we're gonna be able to see. And I'm just gonna head in with my gun up.
Right.
Okay, so you open the door, and when let's say you're outside in the cold, and you open the door, and the heat's been turned up, very high, and you hit this wall of heat. On this case, it's the same thing, but it's not heat. It's like a wall of. It's just it's hard to breathe. It fucking stinks, Ray, and you take a waft of this into your lungs, and you have to keep yourself from hurling, just because you've smelt just the rot and decompose and decay of just bodies. And you open the door, a little bit of light comes in, and the flies are just like they're everywhere in here, and it stinks. Give me a keep it together, please, because
Ray is like gagging. He's got his like sleeve up to his mouth, trying to breathe through the hem of his trench coat. Keep it together. Let's see. What's the attribute you add to that?
willpower.
Willpower. I don't think I have a willpower to
Yeah.
speak of.
Yeah, it's at the top of the little.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's +0. So
Okay. Straight
I
roll.
got a 14.
Okay. You are able to. You do feel severely nauseous breathing this in, but you're able to, take part of your coat or whatever you have, maybe that favorite T-shirt, and just kind of put it up over your mouth to stave off most of the effects. But as you take the flashlight and look around, Ray, it is not nice.
Is it bodies?
Oh, it's wherever you look in here, there are pieces of human bodies everywhere. Melted human fat, flies, blood, and there's a hand in the middle of the floor with a diamond ring that's sticking up, standing up on its wrist. There's pieces of teeth, hair. It looks like a bloodbath, whatever was in here. But this place looks familiar to you, Ray. It's that vision. It's whatever.
Yeah, Ray's just kind of like, all the king's horses and all the king's men. This is what
Fred and
this is what I
yeah.
This is what I saw in my vision, guys. The thing I saw did this.
Yeah, Fred and George, you're standing in behind Ray. You haven't seen what he's seen. Like, Ray's a pretty big guy, right? So he's had his flashlight in there, and he just turns around, looks at you, kind of like this, and
just white beads of sweat on his forehead, and just
Fred's
white
gotta
as a
see it.
ghost.
He's gonna step in.
So the second I hear him singing, I'm pushing him to help Ray.
Okay, I'll get both of you to roll, keep it together at the same time, please.
Can I ask? So I'm holding a Molotov cocktail. As soon as the smell hits, if I put the gasoline up, because gasoline's got a pretty potent smell, can that offset some of it? Give me a bonus?
Yeah, sure.
Well, even with the
smelling
-1 from the wound,
smelling gasoline isn't necessarily the wisest thing either, but
oh, but it smells delicious, you know. I like my enemies like I like my gasoline, full of lead.
Yeah. All right. Would I get a +1 bonus for that? Right?
Sure, definitely.
All right. So I got a 16.
Okay, you're good. You're just like, at the end of the day, the Gladius is money. It's my ticket to Vegas.
Right.
Maybe
I can handle anything.
Yeah,
Just gotta get through.
Yeah, maybe Elizabeth will be with you. You'll have Joan. You're fine.
If Elizabeth goes back to him after all of this, I swear to God, I'll kill her myself.
George, how did you make out?
I had a 15 on the dice with a +2, but a
man.
-1
Nice.
from the ongoing wound. So it's still a 15. We're still good.
Yeah, no, you're good. You're in the war. You're good. So kind of like that same kind of nasty description. But Ray, one thing that you like, all three of you kind of look down, and you rolled really well. So you catch this no problem. All your flashlights are going. Like, besides all the there's blood on the walls, blood dripping down from the ceiling. Like I said, pieces of hair, nails, bone. Like it's a mess. But one thing, at the door, you look down at the floor. There's this blood is mixed with something, some kind of material, and you see it. Flow isn't going from out to in. It actually looks like something was either dragged out, and like it's not footprints. It's like something huge just dragged something from inside and brought it out.
Here, I've never.
Were there any tracks outside?
Give me an observe a situation, please.
Okay.
Elizabeth, I'll get to you in a sec.
I got a 17.
Okay. The system does take a little bit to get used to. So with the observe a situation, you get 2 questions asking me about the environment. What do you want to know about it?
I want to know if I want to know if there are any tracks outside, like what was dragged out and where did it go? Because we just came in from back there and we didn't see anything.
Sure.
And I want to know if there's anything hidden, if there are any hidden threats here right now. If we're being watched.
Okay. Oh, perfect. So those fall under the 2 kind of environmental questions. So whatever was dragged out was huge. Like it was, I can't describe it enough that it was fucking enormous. And Ray, you look closer at the door jambs and even down at the bottom on both sides. Now, when you point your flashlight down, it's buckled on both sides. And it's almost like if someone had a big boulder and kind of pushed it through, like it completely took out the bottom of the door. And you follow it, and you see the part of the rain's coming down. You see that there's this probably 4 to 5 foot wide path where the grass has just been trampled, and you follow. Do you follow it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you follow it.
Yeah.
You follow it back throughout the property, and as you're kind of going along with your flashlight. You see a nail, you see a tooth, you see the bottom part of a jaw, maybe some extra hair. But you get to the back of the property by a sewer grate, and the sewer grate is not there anymore. And the detritus that comes from this path looks like it just kind of seeps and goes down into the sewers. On your second question, what is the biggest threat, or what you should be on the lookout for? It's whatever that was, but it's not here anymore. So you think you're safe for now.
Okay. I'm gonna come back inside, and I'm gonna go. I'm gonna say, all right, George Fred, that thing, I think whatever it was went into the sewer. I don't think it's here anymore, but I want to go ransack this dude's office. There must be some kind of. He must have some notes or something.
Yeah, well, we got to find Strocker. So yeah, you think he's one of these bodies?
He better not be.
I want to grab the ring off of the finger.
He might be the monster for all we know.
Wait a minute.
Fred, I just want to find out if it's Stalker's ring. Maybe he's one of those assholes who's got his name engraved on the inside.
It's a woman's ring, isn't it?
He said a diamond ring.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, well, okay. George, you walk through. There's like half an inch of just like you're walking in pretty much like just a pot, like a soupy thing of blood, and you're like
human soup.
Yeah, as you kind of walk over, and
The best soup.
the best soup, and this hand, it's just, if you're looking at my camera feed, it's up like this. If it was standing up and just resting, it's beautiful painted red fingers and a nice diamond gold ring. Definitely not a man's hand. Nice, and yeah, it's just standing up in the soup, but a beautiful heavy carat ring.
I'll still pluck the ring off, put it in my pocket.
Come on.
Elizabeth, we'll go back to you for a sec. As you're watching, you see, you see Ray kind of come out of the house, take the flashlight, go back to the property. George and Fred, you see them kind of come out for a minute to see Ray kind of walk back, but they walk back in. But coming from behind where you're parked, coming around the bend, full-on headlights of another car is coming. What do you do?
How far away are they, roughly? Are they close or really farther away? What?
Close.
Close. Yeah, at that point, I'm gonna, not fast. I'm just gonna pull away, and as if I'm gonna go on to, turn around, go down to a different street, whatever. But I'm gonna try and circle around back, and
Okay.
'cause I don't know who's there or who this is, who it might be. Could be a cop site, who knows? So
Okay.
I'll just calmly move out of the way. So.
Okay. You can keep the +1 from earlier. I'll ask you to roll act under pressure again, please, to not look suspicious.
All right, so it's +2 total. Is it 3? This is 7. That's a 9. That's not so good.
Okay, so how I see this happening, Liz, you're spooked a little bit. You get in the driver's seat, turn on, you turn the car on, you start to pull away, but you're still trying to see where the hell's Ray going? But this car is coming in behind, and you drive, and you with the 9, you actually, the car that was parked there before, that black Dodge Kingsway. You hit it.
Ah, shit. Okay, head on or like how?
Just like small,
Just clip
yeah, clip it. Like if,
Clip it.
yeah, like if two cars, you're like clunk, but you're like screech as you're driving on by.
Poor Ray's gonna kill me.
Is that with the +1 though?
That was with +2 total.
+2. Okay.
I rolled really bad, so yeah. Well, I was due for a bad roll. So, yeah, all right. So she's probably like freaking out at this point, and then she probably pulls away rather quickly. Looks in the rear mirror. What's the car doing that was behind her? Are they right on her, or?
Well, the one that was sitting there, that's turned around, so you see the ass end of that one. But the car that was coming up behind you starts following you.
Yeah, shit. All right, so she's gonna take off. I mean,
Okay.
I don't know how else to. Well, I could maybe maybe try and pull some type of a. Yeah, no, she's gonna try
Decisions, eh?
yeah. Well, I was thinking maybe she's gonna try something, some crazy ass move with the car, but I don't think she's like that great of a driver. So, in fact, she probably doesn't drive very much at all. So yeah, she's probably taken off and gonna see if she can find some way to lose the car that's behind her.
Yeah, no problem. Okay.
Mhm.
So yeah, you speed up. That car behind you speeds up too, and it's trying to keep up. It's just like whoa! You just see him. He's coming up really fast behind you. So based on, like, you don't have to look, like, it doesn't have to stick to moves, but you can go to kind of what your attributes are. Are you trying to drive away dangerously, or are you trying to, like, what's your setup for this? And then I'll propose a dice roll.
Basically, she's gonna like balls to the wall, just barrel it out. I mean, pedal down until she gets further enough away to because this is in the middle of the dark. It's still dark. Are the streets lit?
Yeah, yeah.
Are the streets? They are lit around this one. Oh, shit, that sucks. Um, she's gonna try to find some way to where she can gain some distance on them and then find a way to lose them
Okay.
entirely. That's really what she's gonna try to do.
All right, no problem. I think this falls greatly under the move Avoid Harm, which is based on reflexes. So you put pedal to the metal, you're going through the neighborhood, just you go out into a main street, the traffic, it is late at night, but it is LA. So you're coming into a populous area where there's more cars. So give me a reflexes roll, please, as you try to get out of this get out of Dodge.
God, no. So that's a 7.
Jesus, hey. Okay.
Yeah, I did. Well, hey, I was rolling great earlier. Now I was due to just I'm getting hammered now. So
Yeah.
7.
Yeah, I know. Just due to the anxiety of being followed and no one's with you. You step on it. This other car's coming straight at you from the other lane. You freak out. You just see headlights coming at you. You swerve and you drive right into a telephone pole. And the front of Ray's car just smashes, and it's totaled. And you come in. You hit the steering wheel. Just poof, and your head starts ringing. Give me an endure injury, please. So that is 2d10 plus fortitude, and this is a nice little car crash. So harm, I think I'll keep it at 2. So plus fortitude minus 2. Back on to that.
So yeah, it's just minus 2 in general.
Okay.
Christ. 7. Yeah, 7.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
Liz, this was not good. All right, so it's the injury you sustain. It's overwhelming. You
Okay.
choose. Are you knocked out and take a serious wound, or you receive a critical wound, which is more life-threatening, but you stay conscious and can continue to act?
Nah, well, decisions.
I'll let you think about that for a sec.
Yeah.
We'll zoom back here to the other 3. Ray, when you were examining the backyard, you're kind of in your head following this, like you're fixated, you're focused. You might even be reciting that nursery rhyme in your head as you're walking back on through. I think George, you were the furthest one back. There's this let up in the rain a little bit, and you hear you hear the faint squeal of tires.
Son of a bitch! And I'm gonna try to run out to see what's going on out there.
Liz is gone. Ray's car is not there anymore. And you see this silver Cadillac, no plates, headlights, full blast. Boom! You see Ray's car about a block ahead, turns right, and then this gray car just boom, turns around the corner and follows on.
Fuck, Fred, Ray, Liza bailed. That silver car's chasing her. I have no idea where the hell they went. They went that way.
But this could be good. She drew them away from us. We got this place to ourselves now.
Let's do a quick search. We got to find Strucker. Otherwise,
I didn't know they weren't Striker in there. How do we know he wasn't in that car?
We gotta go find his office.
Yeah,
we gotta find his office.
I'm gonna push the door open. Go into that large area. Is there any area of the floor where you don't have to walk through the soup?
The soup is everywhere. It is a massacre.
My God. Push the door open to number 4.
Okay. That is actually this part of the house this part of the art studio is pretty unscathed. You've pushed into the kitchen. The counter is spotted with a few drops of dried blood, and some knives are missing from a knife stand, and the sink has been clogged with blood and hair.
Oh my god!
As if someone was trying to wash off. But the wall on the left, closest to the wall on the east side of the thing, you hear humming, like someone's like humming a tune, and you hear it through the wall.
And the other side.
Yeah, like a number 5.
So that means they would be in room 3, the main area, right?
3 or 5.
Or 5. Yeah. Okay. All right. There's somebody. I'll actually lower my voice and I'll say, "There's someone here," and I'm just gonna have to go through the soup, go out and around. Can I note? Can I tell how these people were dressed and whether or not there's accessories like champagne glasses? Like, was this kind of like a gala? Was this kind of like an event? Does it look like that?
Hell yeah.
Then can I see if I guess is there if this was an event, then it must have been for the release of some type of a particular piece of art or something. So can I kind of can I say what is the centerpiece of this gallery in terms of the art piece?
Sure. Give me an observe a situation, please.
Not necessarily great. Too much gore. Yeah, where's my perception? Yes, I got a 10. It's probably not.
Well, no, that's fine.
Oh, is it okay?
Yeah, you get
Yeah.
one. You get one question.
Oh, okay. All right.
And I know
Well,
you.
I mean, what is the centerpiece? What is the art piece that's the center? Why are people here? What is it that they've come to see?
Yeah. So you walk around the you walk around in the human soup, and you take a look around the gallery. Like you have to. It takes you a few minutes as you take your flashlight and kind of examine every painting that's up along the walls, and there definitely was a showcase of this artist's work. The paintings that are on display all express this. Looks like they're all, each is a portrait of a person. Some are dressed in suits and ties. Some are dressed in very nice dresses. But then the same people, like if there's a nice portrait of them, there's a portrait right beside it that shows, it's almost like, I can never say this word, macabre,
yeah.
version of them. It's like if somebody, it's like the good photo, it's what people see on the outside, but then on the right, it's what they really are, what they're hiding on the inside.
And it's all evil. It's not.
Oh, it's all evil. It's like like if Fred's thinking of demons and devils and just different kinds of animalistic beasts, that's what's painted, and it's everywhere in here. So you kind of get the sense that this artist, this Christian Starker, is
Okay. Pickett's not one of those paintings, is he?
No.
Okay. I'm going to point. Are you both of you back? Are you both of you? You're inside with me, right? With Fred?
Yeah.
Both your characters. Yeah. I'm going to point, since I don't see any person humming in here. I'll point to this small room, the number 5 room door, and I'll again, my voice lowered. I'm saying, someone's in there.
And sorry, just one more thing, Fred, and who's ever when you're looking at the map, that is a spiral, like a grand spiral staircase going up to what looks like a second floor.
Okay. Yeah, I'm still focused on number 5 because that's where I heard the humming. Can we hear it from out here?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
You don't recognize you don't recognize the humming though.
Can I tell if it's a man or a woman's voice?
Man.
And okay, all right, maybe it's Stalker. I'll just say, let's. I'll kind of. I know George is a soldier. I'm again. I guess we'll take either side of the door, flank it, and then throw it open.
What are you doing, Ray?
Ray has his shotgun ready, and he's gonna be ready. Yeah, he's just gonna cover the door, he'll motion for one of them to kind of like push the door open.
Okay. George, you had come back in from outside after saying that Liz driven away for some reason, but you know the reason. You saw another car racing after her. What did you do after that?
I was going to go back inside to tell the others, and upon Fred saying there's somebody in room 5, I'm just going to raise the gun, flank the door, get ready to kick it in.
Sure.
Keeping an eye out in case, because seeing that, Liza just got chased off by those other cars, clearly something is nefarious going on here. As if the, blood everywhere wasn't a big hint.
Yeah. And as you, George, just because you've had an experience with you've had your experience with Pickett, you've had your experience from the war, you're a little bit more like Fred and Ray. You folks are sensitive. You both had your moments, but George is a little bit more further along. Like, you've seen shit. You walk further into this messy soup, and I want you feel this compulsion. It's trying to make you do something. Okay. Give me a willpower roll, please.
Willpower.
And this it kind of comes under a environmental kind of disadvantage, so I will ask you to roll with a -1.
Oh, goody. So it's a 7 on the dice plus 2 minus the ongoing critical wound. So that's that's gonna be a 6.
Oh,
this is good. See, this is good.
This is when all the wheels come off.
Exactly. Good for content. Good for show. Good for George. Good for everybody, right?
Good for George. George is gonna be fine, everybody.
Yeah. So Ray, you're like, George.
George turns into the monster.
Yeah. Ray, you get in. You have your shotgun. You're ready. Your mouth is covered. Fred, you're on the other side of the door jam. But you look over to George, and he's just stuck in the middle, and he's not walking anymore. He just stops, and he's just like, what do you say to him?
Probably because they're trying to be quiet. I'll kind of try to get his, try to get his attention, like, George.
George, snap out of it, man.
George, you think you've connected to a god. You feel like you have opened yourself up. You are talking, or you feel the presence of some being that's asking you to do something. And it's this clarity of everything. It's seeing Mr. Pickett. It's being back in the days of you were just fighting. You're fighting to get to something, fighting to see just, what's inside that cracked egg. You found it, George. And it needs your help. And it's asking you. And because of the 6.
Yeah, that's bad.
Yeah. You're like, you can heal it's telling you can heal yourself. You want to live, George? You need to sacrifice. Start cutting. Yourself or somebody else. It needs flesh.
George stops for a moment. And is there anything sharp in the room?
Oh, there's some broken wine
Fred's sword.
glasses. There's some.
Oh, George is going to grab a broken wine glass, and he's going to start on his non-dominant arm and just start cutting down from the shoulder down to his elbow.
Fred, you see this. What do you do?
Fred actually looks towards Ray with a look of disbelief, like I'm not sure if this is real.
Yeah. Ray Ray's gonna hand the shotgun to Fred and just
Okay.
try and grab George and just try and restrain him. Like basically like just try and pick him up and do like a full Nelson.
Okay.
So would that be act under pressure maybe? I don't know.
Combat, engage in combat.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, well I could actually do my boxer thing.
You could. But first I'll ask. I'll ask George. How do you react?
Oh, George is going to try to shove him away and say, "Trust me, I'm gonna be okay." And I'm gonna try to put my hand on his face and shove away as best I can with this bloodied, gassed up arm.
Okay. So this would be an opposed roll, and it can both be engage in violence because you two both physically say that you're trying to physically get to each other. So if you guys want to roll that and see who gets the highest thing. Oh,
It's a 5.
What did you get? Oh, I got a 9 and an 8. What is this? What is the attribute I add to that?
violence.
Probably violence. So +3. So okay. So yeah. So 20.
I think 20 beats
Wow.
a 5. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. Numbers.
George is older. George is focused and transfixed on completing a task. It looks like Ray. He's not doing good. Maybe it's this abattoir kind of focused environment you're in, but you have your way. What do you do? What do you do with George and Fred? What you just see Ray come up, and Ray, what happens?
Ray's just gonna kind of like dodge under his hand, smearing blood like on his sort of balding head and kind of like back, but he kind of dodges aside, gets his arms up under George's arms, and he has him like in a full Nelson, feet not touching the floor, and he's just shaking him so that he's hopefully will drop the wine bottle,
Yep.
and
Well,
just trying to shake some sense into him.
Yeah, well, with a 20 versus a 5 and 2 levels away from successes each, he drops the wine bottle. He drops everything, and you pretty much have him in that full Nelson. He's basically a rag doll in your grasp. But as you're doing that, Fred, the door behind you, as you're...
Well, I was just going to say, George, they just start, this commotion is going to be heard. Fred just trusts that Ray's got it, and he turns now with Ray's shotgun towards that door.
As the door opens up, noise, and you shine your flashlight in.
Yeah, got the flashlight and the shotgun pointed, and probably even will say, as the door is opening, Stalker.
Stalker? No. This man walks out in a tuxedo, blood all the way down the front of him, and he's like smacking his lips, and he has like blood fingers, and he's like you see chunks of skin just coming down the front of his face, and he's like, the devourer needs flesh. You're keeping flesh from the devourer. And he looks toward...
Where's Stalker?
I don't know. Stalker?
Stalker, sorry. Yeah.
No, he...
Christian's
Yeah, no.
Stalker.
Yeah, no, he's looking at you, Stalker. He's wanted. He's needed. not for flesh, but for power. Do you want flesh? And then he from down behind his back, he brings up an arm with like bite marks and teeth marks, and he's been chomping on this thing like a popsicle.
Excellent.
Fred, I think this is the perfect time to roll a keep it together, please.
I don't need to. If I fail the roll, does that mean I pull the trigger? Because if that's the case, I'm pulling the trigger.
We'll see what happens with this first.
All right. Keep it together. So I rolled a natural 10. And do I have willpower? I have +1, so 11.
11? Okay. Which one of the you're able to fire the gun, but you do have to take a condition. What do you choose?
All right, so it's minus the stability. Probably I'll be haunted by this experience at a later time.
Definitely. I'll mark that down. Yeah, all right. So, yeah, you just,
That seems appropriate to me.
Yeah, you take it, whatever happening now, you put it in the little memory box and you put it on the shelf and you Is it the Tommy gun or did George have that?
No,
Shotgun.
Ray threw me his shotgun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. All right.
George
So
got the Tommy gun in one hand, just like waving it wildly.
yeah. So for Ray's shotgun, you have a few choices. It's a Winchester M1897. You could do something called snapshots where you can just those shots do the most harm, but you can only do one around. Or you can do something called a pellet storm, where it's like field effect, gets a lot of hits, but there's just one person in front of you.
Yeah, you know what? He's probably like this would not be a skilled. This is not like a skilled use of it. He's kind of was because Ray had thrown it to him, and he kind of had it's a hip fire. Like he's just kind of had it in his hand, and when he turned and he saw it, he's just kind of pulling the trigger. So I think it's just a general, just a general shot. So the base,
honestly, you don't even need to. You don't even need to roll for this because this guy is right in front of you. It's point blank.
Okay.
So it just goes off. And
like he almost doesn't even think about it. Like it's like when the gun fires, he's a little bit, because this is very intense. He's probably never seen anything like this. The whole death all around him. So it's just kind of like the finger acts by itself.
Yeah. And boom. He's just like parts of him blown away and he just falls limp. He just falls limp on you.
But like that wasn't Stalker.
And we'll stop there for a sec and we'll head over to Liz.
Oh yeah. We're never gonna find this guy.
Yeah. So I thought about what you said, and no, I'm not gonna have her go unconscious. She's gonna push through with this.
Okay.
So she's crashed into a telephone pole. Imagine she's probably broken a couple of ribs from the steering wheel.
Yep.
Hitting it as hard as she did. She probably was, and probably is bleeding. What's going on behind her? The people behind her. She's gonna look up in the rearview mirror, dazed, of course, but she's gonna try and see what they're doing.
Yeah, there's a crowd gathering. You see that the gray Chrysler. It stops. Looks like it thinks for a few moments and then peels off. And then you have kind of like the normal crowd coming around, just seeing if you're okay. There's a few men trying to get you out of the car.
As they're doing that, she's pushing her way through, holding the pistol, the revolver in her hand, which is already cocked, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's dazed, and so
are you okay, ma'am? Are you okay? Do you need help?
I need to get to the art studio.
You're not thinking straight. You're just in a car. You were in a car crash.
Yes.
You got a nasty gash on your head.
I'll be fine. I'll be fine. I just need to get to the art studio. So she's gonna.
She has a gun. Ah!
Yeah, exactly. She's just gonna try to stagger her way, or as fast as she can head towards. How far away are we from the actual art studio?
Like 3 blocks, 3 or 4 blocks. Yeah.
That far. Okay. Well, that's further than I was imagining.
But people are like, people are jumping back. The people that were trying to help you, they're not. They're just like hands in the air. They see people with newspapers up like this. They're starting to run away, and
She's
yeah,
screaming at him, "Stay away! Stay away!" And she's trying to, make her way back to. I don't know
yeah.
how much she's bleeding, but you said she's going to take a major wound, or what is this?
Oh, you wanted to keep on going? That is a critical wound.
Okay.
And you in KULT, you can have up to 4 serious wounds and be kind of okay. But if you take a critical wound, you can only have 2 of those, and those are the life-threatening ones. So, in this car crash where you've hit your head pretty good, what do you think would be the life-threatening injury that Elizabeth would have incurred?
We're going to say it was. Yeah, so we're going to say that it was the turn signal selector broke off into her chest.
Don't haul it out.
Jammed in. Yeah.
Okay.
So if it goes any further, it'll go directly into her heart, and that's it.
All right. Perfect. All right. So you have an ongoing on all rolls until this is stabilized. You'll have a -1
Right.
on all rolls.
Right. Well, she's going to try and stagger her way back over there, and
Yep.
and she's also going to try to keep an eye out through the blood in her eyes for that car.
Okay. Actually, that's a good. Actually, thank you for bringing that up.
Shit.
No, that's okay. Players have the best ideas. This is how it always works out.
I'm telling you, right.
It does. Once you get a few blocks away, like where the accident happened, you start hearing the police sirens like that, almost like I'm thinking British police cars. I don't know why, but you get that in the back.
Okay. Right.
But this car, it does come around a few times. I'll ask you to do an act under pressure to try to, not be seen.
It's gonna be -1, right? So
Yeah. -1 plus coolness.
plus coolness.
As you're trying to hide this rod sticking out by your chest, and you're just like, walking down the road.
Well, it's kind of it's like probably under her brassiere, but it's literally kind of sticking out a little bit, but it's more blood trickling down than anything else. Unless you actually get underneath there and look, you don't even know that this is even there. All right, so coolness, which she's at +1, so that means I'm down to 0. Any kind of pluses.
Okay.
And that is a 12.
Well,
So,
okay. Yeah, no,
terrible.
yeah, no, you think you were able to dupe them? You think?
Well, she's gonna duck into the shadows somewhere along the way. She's gonna stay away from the lights, for certain.
Yeah.
The street lights as much as possible.
Yeah.
Stay in the shadows.
Yeah. The one complication of this though is you are moving slow and you are leaving a trail of blood in behind. You think you're safe for now, but you won't be safe for a while. So
Okay.
gotta pick up the pace.
Still working. Working way
Yep.
towards it. Okay.
All right, no problem. All right, so we'll come back to you 3 here. And what's going on?
All right, so that person has fallen.
Yeah, falling on you.
Okay.
Kind of just like sliding down.
Slide. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ray, just trust me. Let me go. I it's okay.
Yeah.
Do
You gonna cut yourself?
I promise, Ray. I won't cut myself. I promise.
Do I believe him?
Do you think Ray would believe him? You can either just go with it, or you can roll,
I'm gonna. Yeah, Ray. Yeah. All right, I'll put you down in a second. I'm gonna make sure that you're totally with it. I'm gonna dangle you for a little bit longer there. All right, George.
George's gonna try to wriggle free.
Okay.
I will say this: you get the feeling as George is talking, he's not going to hurt himself anymore. You hear a sincerity in his voice.
Ray will put him down eventually. He's gonna dangle him for a bit longer, though.
Okay.
The second Ray sets George down, he grabs that wine glass and immediately starts carving up the dude that just got wasted.
Oh, the dude that got wasted. Okay. All right.
Just say,
Well, Ray and Fred, at least it ain't you two.
Well, I mean, Fred's like, "Are you all right, George?"
I'm gonna be fine. Just it needs this. And I'm just
You
gonna be trying
start.
to carve off like
Uh,
hunks of flesh as best as I can.
I'll cock the shotgun, and then I'm gonna go. You start eating, George. I'm pulling the trigger again.
It's not for me to eat. It's not for me. It's he needs it.
I give a look at Ray. Like, who's he? Who you talking about?
I don't know, but just I heard a voice and it told me that if I gave it flesh, everything would be okay. And as he says, he immediately goes into a coughing fit.
You would be healed,
Ray is gonna
George.
slap him. Ray's gonna slap him.
George is too distracted to stop me. I just
give him a good,
you whack him,
solid slap.
You do it you do it a few times, and he just like Ray handprint, but George still
he's not snapping out of it at all. He's not at all.
I can be healed. Just trust me.
And actually, Ray, as you're doing this, and the flashlight, like it is still dark in here, your peripheral vision goes to the bathroom, and you see the right side of a white clawfoot tub, and you see it's filled with water or something. Like it's still dark in there, but you see that there's this arm hanging out and over. If somebody was taking a bath, and you just see an arm just dangling off the side.
I'm gonna look inside. I mean, we still got to find this guy or his body or something. I'm starting to wonder if the monster is Stalker. But all right, I'm gonna. Ray is very gingerly, like he's gonna reach back for the shotgun, like for Fred to pass him the shotgun, and he's just gonna go into the bathroom just to scope it out really quick.
Yeah, you don't have to go in far. They're just like everything else that's happened in here. You kind of assumed what was in there. There's in the bathtub. There is a body of a young woman. Kind of what George is doing now is kind of like what has happened to her in the complete sense. Basically de-skinned, and you just see just piles and patches just around where he was chomping down. That's pretty much all you see. And this is when Elizabeth walks in the door. Hey guys, what's going on? Clark, Ray, Cars, not anyway. Liz, this is when you walk back in.
Well, I would doubt she's walking. She probably flings the door open. Where's her? Help me!
Hell, Liza, what? What the hell happened?
She's got blood in her eyes, and she's kind of holding the pistol half up, half out. They followed me. I wrecked your car, Ray. Sorry. It's telephone pole.
Wrecked the car. You hit him. So a bit concerned when she says following. Fred's eyes go towards the door behind her just to make sure nobody's coming in.
Doesn't look like it, no.
Who's following you? How many of them are there?
I didn't see. They were in a car. It followed me. I lost control, and I lost it. I'm having a hard time breathing.
Maybe you probably just knocked the wind out of you. You're going to be okay, Liza. You're going to be okay.
I don't know. And she just kind of slumps down the wall and kind of sits there.
I'll turn towards Ray because he's the only person who I don't know if I can trust George anymore.
Did you ever trust George?
No, I guess not. I'm gonna be like, we need to check the second floor and then get the hell out of here.
You go check the second floor. As I slowly walk over to Liza, you okay?
She just kind of looks up. Do I fucking look okay?
She has this like turn signal thing embedded in her chest. It's like, oh, George, you have
Oh,
something.
we can see.
You have
Oh, we
something
can
in
see
common.
that.
Oh yeah.
Oh shit, we can see that. Oh, I'm like, Fred just noticed it and goes like, my God,
can
what the
tell-
hell?
You can tell it
Oh,
probably
no.
punctured her lung as well.
Oh
That's why she's
shit.
having a hard time with the breathing.
I mean,
Liza,
we
you
gotta
look great.
get
Grab
you to
another
a
piece of
doctor.
glass and just slowly try to carve a piece off of Liza.
What?
If he even came close, she would put a bullet hole right in his head.
I'm walking
good
over
waste of
real
time.
real gentle like.
Okay. Yeah, that's what she would do. As soon as he would start to cut, immediately. She doesn't at this point. She doesn't know who. She can't see too well. You're in a dark room, I would imagine.
Yeah. The only
Everything's coming undone.
Yeah. So yeah, she would crack one round off into George's head. She wouldn't waste time.
All right. So let's paint the picture here. No pun intended. All right. So
Kurt Cobain.
yeah. Liza, you came in. You're talking to the group. You don't know what kind of went down in here. George came up behind. Fred, you're a couple paces away. Maybe just looking down at this man that kind of fell on you, came down. Ray, you're looking in the bathroom, kind of fixated on like, okay, yeah, that's what happened in there. And George walked up behind Liza with a piece of glass. And you weren't expecting him to do this. So, George,
Yes.
you're first.
All right. Is that a engage in violence?
Oh shit!
Yes.
I gotta endure harm here, probably.
Well, you're lucky because due to my ongoing wound, it's a straight roll. But you're not gonna like what I rolled.
Oh shit!
That is a natural 20.
Oh my god!
Oh my God! Wow.
Wow.
Is that something special in cult?
Oh god, Liz is gonna be like dead here.
Well, Liz,
Fred's gonna freak the fuck out.
Liz, you do have a reaction. You see it happen, and you see George coming in with these eyes, and just comes at you. You weren't expecting it, but you still get to avoid harm. So you can roll 2d10 plus your reflexes, -1 because of the thing sticking out of your chest.
Yeah. Okay, so I get +1 to this.
Nothing is going very well for our heroes.
That's 16.
Anti-heroes. Gang
We're
of
heroes?
screw-ups.
What's you get, sorry?
Rolled a 6. I got a 16.
16. Okay. You're kind of still in the same bracket per se, but George did roll higher. So all his momentum doesn't give him a complete, like, you're kind of on equal footing here. So George, you kind of come in, you try to do the thing, but Liza, you kind of turn around at that same moment, and you might. What do you do? Do you grab his hand? Do you go back a few paces?
I said she still has the revolver in her hand. The hammer's already been cocked back. She will immediately put it up and put a round in the guy's head.
Okay.
She has no idea who this is. She's freaked out in general anyway.
Yeah.
From everything. So yeah.
Okay.
In fact, she just got cut.
Yeah.
Or close to being cut. So yeah.
Yeah. So we'll come around to that. Fred, this is when your reaction pops in. How do you react as you see like George coming with a piece of glass trying to slice Liz? Sorry, Dave.
No, it's like I'm never a fan of major harm to other characters, but he just, you know what? Just for just only because I'm in this, and great role playing, Doc. But Fred is not quite. He's slow on the uptake. He's not quite sure like what is going on. But the shotgun is. He would not have had it pointed in that direction, but it's now coming up.
Okay.
No, he didn't have the shotgun. Sorry, he didn't have it. He realized. In fact, that's the thing that enters his mind. He's like, shit, I gave it to Ray.
Okay.
So he's kind of caught in this weird moment. So he'll act, but he'll act next round.
Okay.
You have a pistol though.
I do, but you know what? I made a decision in my mind earlier in the session that because of his obsession with the Gladius, he would not be carrying he'd never be carrying the pistol. He would always be having his hand on the Gladius in his belt where Liza put it. So he's going to take around. He might be going for the pistol, but it's going to take him around to kind of catch up to things.
Okay. And we'll go to Ray right here. Ray, you have done a lot of perception based roles. You get the feeling of like, you might have been in places like this before, to clean up for the mob and stuff like this. And just because of all your kind of roles kind of brought up to now and your just general knowledge, you look what's happening. You look back, like you just instinctively know that you need to get the George the fuck out of this place as you see him kind of go toward Liz. What is your reaction? Forgetting the now dead thing laying in the tub.
I think, yeah, I'm not sure if he's fixating on the thing in the tub, and it might be a little bit slow on the uptake with George as well. But yeah, I was thinking that we might need to get George out of this place. But I don't think that the threat that George poses to Liz is it's probably lost on him right now because his attention is directed into the bathroom. So he is going to be could get caught pretty flat-footed here, I think. He's probably just he's probably just starting to turn around and go, "Hey, I think we should probably get George out of here." Bam. Like
Okay. So we go back to George and Elizabeth. You two have rolled very well. You're both on equal footing. Whoever gets stacked first, I think it'll go down to just a straight reflexes roll to see who's faster.
Shit. Okay.
And we will save that for next time.
Oh, you did
Of
not just
course.
do that.
Of
You did
course.
just do that.
dun dun dun.
So ready to make that roll, man. I was like, come on.
You'll have to stay in that position for the next time you play.
Next time we play.
Oh.
And,
Okay.
and with that, I'd like to thank all four of you again for going through this gauntlet with me. And this was a very gory episode, but we have made progress, and we are actually almost at, I'd say 60 to, I'd say more close to 70%. Yeah. So I know, like, aren't we ever going to find this guy? Yes, it's coming.
I don't know if Liz is going to make it live through this, but yeah.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. So
some of the worst.
with all that, I'd like to thank everyone for joining, everyone who has joined later on. And yeah, watch the socials for the next time we do. It will probably definitely be after the holidays, but we will be back. Good night and good day.
Great. Thank
Thanks.
you.
See you
Bye-bye.
later.
Everybody.
Bye.